Hey, okay, so I've been messing around a little bit down here, and I wanted to, excuse me, get a better understanding or at least concept plan of how we're going to make these corners join this board and this compartment that you have here. We got to talk about this 'cause that's makes it a little bit more complicated. Um, the drawers, I always figure the drawers are for storage, so they need to be as big as they possibly can be. So as big as these drawers can be is basically what this whole bed frame structure can stand and still support the bed with a couple of people on it, maybe three people. So I prototyped this corner right here. I bought some brackets that attach the bed rail, this rail and this rail to the end piece. And I didn't pay attention to the detail you have here, the little bookcase type compartments. I just assumed a straight across board for the footboard. And I assumed a post type of corner. You would have a post here, and a post at both sides of the headboard. So those brackets, this is basically a two-piece bracket and comes apart like that. Get these hooks on one side, the slots on the other. This goes on one end, engages those slots and latches downward. So I wanted to make sure I understood how these worked and how precise the cuts have to be in the wood. So this is the piece that I prototyped, and if we look at it in the same perspective as you sketch, this is the footboard. This is where your compartments would be if we, not if, but how we decide to build those in. This obviously is the corner post. We need to have that some way to attach the rail. Now this rail, and I sketched the drawer opening. I haven't cut it out, but you can see it here in pencil. We can cut that out. Basically, I took the length of the bed rail, this length here, from here to here, and I made the widest drawers that we could fit, and that left an equal 5.5 inch space between here, 5.5 inches between the drawers, and 5.5 inches on this end. So that's what you see here. This is 5.5 inches from here to here. We got to talk more about how we support this piece from left to right and opposite side to here. Your sketch doesn't show what's underneath this platform. I don't think this platform needs to be solid. This doesn't need to be a sheet of plywood or anything. This can be a couple of cross braces 3 or 4 cross braces going in both directions. So that's all. This is up for grabs. We can kick this around and come up with another plan, but I wanted to just really just nail down how we're going to make these things work. So what you see here is in here the post. I made this too good. It works. These brackets are great. So hang on a sec. I gotta loosen this. Okay. So imagine the footboard is standing. You're putting the bed together. This is the bed rail. It's got that bracket on one end. Because these things are 5/8 of an inch wide this way, you need to cut a slot 5/8 of an inch wide, and the depth equal to the thickness of these brackets. Well, if we're going to use 3/4 stock 5/8 slot in a 3/4 wide piece of, material, board, doesn't leave much on each edge. So I think a smart thing to do is for us to put this little end piece on the very end of both ends of the bed rail. This is the 82-inch long, represents the 82-inch long bed rail on the left and right side of the bed. So we can easily cut this 5/8 inch wide slot in there and bury this bracket in. And then when you go to put this together, the mating half, the mating half of the bracket is here, corresponding 5/8 inch wide slot in this end. This is going to be buried. You won't see it. So this goes in like this, and gravity, the way I put it together is gravity drives it down, the hooks grab downward, and that forms your corner. Very strong. This is cool. Good stuff. We can do all sorts of decorative edging here with the router all along here. We can taper this. We can, cut this so it's got a very soft edge all the way down on both inside and outside. We can round this here. All this corner can be rounded. This can be rounded. All that. You understand that. That's nothing. We can round this. It just so you don't gouge yourself when you jump out of bed in the morning realizing you're late for work. So we can go beyond here. We can go from this and see what sort of things you're leaning towards. This is 12 inches high, exactly. I don't know if that's what you want. Excuse me. We're going to put a piece on the inside of both the header, the footboard, the headboard, and both side rails. And that piece was going to sit above the drawer opening, but below the top edge. And that is what the mattress or the box spring is going to sit on, right here. And there'll be rails that go across like this. Okay? That's going to go all the way around. And there'll be rails that go across. And the rails that go from side to side, like this, will support the drawer slides, because I think we're going to need drawer slides. The drawer is this big. We're going to need, you know, a metal slide, because they're going to be just really big, if you want them that way. So I haven't been just sleeping. I've been thinking about this, and I wanted to show you this video just to make sure you we're headed in the direction that you want to head. This is all pine. Obviously, it's I threw it together literally. I didn't really pay that much attention to the precision of the layups and the gluing. This was glued to this. This is 3 layers of 3/4 inch pine, total of 2 1/4 inches square. 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. And I think that'll be a nice corner. You know, on the headboard, we can get a little bit more decorative. It can, you know, do something that straight up or angles back a little bit. All right. So that's what I've been doing, and feeding the dogs. So I'll we'll check in, and I wrote up an order for the cherry lumber that we can use for this, and we can talk about that and make sure we are on the same page. I understand what you are looking for. Okay, and so let's check in sometime, and in the meantime, go Pats.